And welcome back, everyone. We are now looking at week 6, the quarterfinals in the playoffs here for Coalition League's spring split. I'm Random Minion Caster, and casting alongside me for game 1 of this series is a special guest, Spenlo from C2. How are you doing, Spenlo?
I'm doing well. How about yourself tonight?
Excellent. I'm doing great. Very excited to get into these games here in the quarterfinals. So the games that we'll be casting tonight are going to be Rawr Rampage versus Vengeful Reapers here. Rawr Rampage ranked second in the standings after the round robin. Vengeful Reapers coming in halfway through the season, replacing Kirby Meatstars here and doing extremely well for themselves. They are currently ranked 7th place, but that's because they did not, all the games before they came in were counted as losses for them. So they've actually been doing pretty decently for themselves, and now pick bans have been completed for both teams here. So on the blue side, we've got Rawr Rampage here, starting their bans off with a Kale, Leona, Echo, Ornn, and Syndra. On the right side, we've got Vengeful Reapers banning out Ari, Senna, Cho'Gath, and that's supposed to be an Urgot, not a Darius, and it looks like they've missed a ban as well. Had some sort of technical difficulties. Now in terms of picks, Rampage going to go with Thresh, Trundle, Misfortune, Vel'Koz, and Maokai, where Vengeful Reaper is going to go with Caitlyn, Nautilus in their bot lane, Warwick, Cassiopeia, and Ziggs for their top half of the map. So Spenlo, what are your thoughts on these teams and what they've decided to ban and pick over here?
So I honestly think on the red side, it's an interesting Cassiopeia Ziggs kind of combination that they're going with. I can't wait to kind of see where they put those in the map because since they picked the Cassiopeia first, they've got they gave Rawr the chance to counter with Vel and Maokai, and then they opted in for the Ziggs after, and I think that's just a very interesting decision. I want to see where that kind of goes for them.
For sure, and I'm really not sure that Ziggs would give an advantage either over Vel'Koz or Maokai here, but they might have some other sort of plan, some compositional thought here, and I'm not really familiar. Vengeful, generally a team not known for compositional teams here, where they just tend to play for individual strength and comfort picks, so it might just be very well that they're comfort picks. What about the side of Rampage in terms of their pick bands? Anything standing out to you here?
Well, I really cannot wait to see where this Nautilus kind of goes. I mean, we know that they're going to go bot side, but I want to see kind of what they do with that pick into the Thresh.
Yeah, and we've heard it here before from Luna that he's a very firm believer that Nautilus counters Thresh, so Rawr is going to have their hands full, especially in that bot lane. One thing to note here for the roster of Rawr Rampage, there has been a couple of changes in their positioning. We still have Daddy in the top lane, prove him wrong, previously known as MG Loves Me in the jungle, and we've got Baby Rope Bunny, previously their AD carry, going to play mid lane this game, and Finny, their jungler previously, playing ADC. So a bit of a change in champ pools here. We'll have to see how all of that works out into the game. And as we say that, the teams are spawning here onto Summoner's Rift. And we will be seeing them pop up here. So we're now on the Rift, and we'll have to see, really, as you said, where's what's going to happen here. And it does look like that's going to be True Hero on the Ziggs in the mid lane. Epic Gamer going to take that Cassio into the top lane here. So now, what are your thoughts on that Maokai Cassio matchup and the Vel'Koz Ziggs matchup here?
I think, weirdly enough, that Maokai is actually going to do decently into that Cassiopeia as long as he's proccing his passive enough, because each time she uses Twin Fangs, especially off of those resets and cooldown resets from anyone being poisoned, that's going to count as a spell towards his passive, so that's just going to give him infinitely more regen in that lane.
Yeah, and Cassio already a champion that tends to burn right through her mana pool, so we'll have to be even more careful here, because where she might normally trade mana for life, she won't be doing that this game since Maokai can't regen his life. And what about that mid lane? Because that Ziggs was a last pick on the side of Vengeful Reapers here, so they knew exactly what they were picking it into.
I mean, it looks like that Ziggs, like, from them last picking it that way, I would originally have thought he was going to go for more of a split push with the way that his passive on his W, I believe, the Demolish works, just because of that destroying turrets at X percent, that low percentage. But since he's running they opted for the Ignite, I don't see that champion going really towards side lanes.
Yeah, and he is not running, he's running Ignite, not the Teleport. He's not running Unsealed Spellbook either, so wherever he chooses to go, that's where he'll have to stay. Does have the ultimate there from Ziggs at least to try and influence other lanes, so even if he is split pushing, he'll be able to do some damage as well. And we do see the junglers here prove them wrong, opting to start on the red side here. Bots have the map, but taking that and running straight up to take that blue buff. Usually that means that there's going to be a gank probably in the top lane. We'll have to see if he decides to do that indeed. Because Stupid Gamer Cassiopeia, no escape built into her kit. Jason KB going to do the same thing there, taking that blue buff on the bot side, running straight up to that top lane.
And that Maokai is getting that edge really early actually into this lane. Cassiopeia's just letting him kind of get up onto her and just hitting her, getting her down to about half HP. If they keep doing that, Trundle's really going to want to come to that lane just to get the early gank to try to get that flash out to make it easier for the Maokai.
Definitely, and as you say, there is going to be some attention being spent top. Epic Gamer dropping a ward already to see if Proven Wrong decides to do that, but it's going to be bot lane where there's a ton of action right now. Finny barely going to get out alive, has the Ignite ticking down, but will be safe, and looks like it was started by an anchor toss from Jay Delian there, getting the hook, and that's going to be something that they have to be careful for. A single anchor onto Finny means that he might just go down right away.
Oh, definitely, and the trickiest thing about that Nautilus and Thresh matchup is Thresh's hook has a wind-up time.
Sorry, but I'm going to cut you off because in the top lane, we've got a counter gank going off, and First Blood going to go over to prove him wrong. Very patient, somehow snuck into that bush around the wards there, and Jason wasn't aware, ended up walking straight into it. With the CC provided by Deity there, they managed to take him down really effectively, so prove him wrong. Going to be first on the board there for the side of Rawr Rampage.
And taking a look at that, like the path he took, he swung all the way towards that entrance towards the mid lane, wrapped all the way back around, and somehow snuck past that ward right there, right by that red buff, and got into the try. And because of that, he had the positional and flanking advantage against that Warwick.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to set Jason behind us. We've seen in previous games for Vengeful Reapers, when Jason goes down early, doesn't have that influence in the game. Vengeful Reapers tends to be a bit more passive, so this might set them down a little bit earlier here. We do see Scuttle being taken here by Jason KB, so they will have vision at least as Drake spawns, and the first Drake will be a Mountain Drake. It's going to be a whiles away yet, just about 45 seconds, which is not too long a period at this point in time.
Yeah, and I think honestly, speaking of which, it looks like that Thresh or that Nautilus is going in for the kill on Misfortune, but I think it looks like honestly that the VGR team is gonna be looking for maybe that first drag.
Flash Fear to push Finny out of turret range. Will get taken down by Imagine's beautiful hit shot to get the kill, but the kill is going to go over to Jason, so his flash was not in vain, and they managed to even up the kill score here for Vengeful Reapers.
That was a really risky flash, but really well played by him with that Fear, pushing that Misfortune out of turret and giving that chance for Kalen and Nautilus to both punish that missed position because of it.
Yeah, and we've said it before, Jason KB, sort of the heart and soul of the early game fight initiative, and with that, Vengeful Reaper is going to be able to hit right over to that Mountain Drake. Warwick able to sustain his way through that, and that will be an early first Drake. 5 minutes, 20 seconds over to Vengeful Reapers.
And I think even if you're Rawr, you're not upset that they got that Mountain Drake just because of the fact that that's going to give extra tank stats that then Trundle can siphon away from that team when he gets 6 to R onto any of them.
Yeah, definitely true there. The armor, the magic resistance given by Ocean Drake can't be siphoned away, and there isn't really much of a true tank on the side of Vengeful Reapers anyway, so won't be as helpful to them early, and Prove Him Wrong will benefit, though the rest of his team will not.
And I want to see, because that Warwick in the jungle, since they know that he used Flash bot lane, I really want to see if Rawr can somehow get into his jungle and at least get some deep vision to try to track a little bit better and know more where he's at. Because if they can do that, you can kind of nullify that pressure that Warwick can have.
Instead, yeah, you can take Finny out the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of Finny. Finny getting a roaming gank into the mid lane there. The first real gank of the game for Rampage. Prove Him Wrong did get a counter gank in the top lane, but the first active roam gonna be Finny here, getting a ton of damage. We'll get the flash out of True Hero, so True Hero gonna have to be careful for the next little while there.
And that's going to set up even that Trundle to really get that next gank onto True here, because since there's no flash, the only escape he's got is that satchel charge that it's not as ranged as like a normal flash, conventional flash would be. So I think if Trundle can get in there onto him and disrupt that even with a pillar, like that's just going to be a dead Ziggs in that.
For sure. Now bot lane, we see the anchor come back down onto Rookter again, but a good disengage. Nothing's gonna come off that, and despite the early lead on the gank, we're not seeing a huge swing. But in the jungle, prove him wrong, catching Jason again. Good fear to try and keep him out, but we do see Deity with the Maokai ultimate coming out. Will it reach? It's gonna reach onto Epic Gamer, and now we've got a 3-on-3, a flash from Deity, but a good petrifying gaze will keep him alive. Doesn't matter, prove him wrong, didn't get petrified, and he's going to keep on chasing it. They've already picked up Epic Gamer. They're now going on to True Hero. Can he get to the blast code? No, he cannot, because Jason took it out and left True Hero alone to die. That's going to be a double kill onto Prove Him Wrong, and Prove Him Wrong now sitting on 3 kills there, 100% of the team's kills.
And that just was really well done on the side of Rawr Gaming. Like, they just, once they had that collapse from the Vel'Koz in the mid lane, that kind of sealed their fate, especially with the slow on Vel'Koz's Q, made it so that neither Warwick nor Ziggs could really get out of that once they got tagged by it.
Yeah, and you've got to question a little bit what Vengeful Reapers was thinking. That True Hero roaming up brought Baby Rope Bunny with him, and he was already half health, didn't have a ton of mana either. Jason was almost dead already from trying to run away. Really, they just kind of threw the good after the bad there, but in the top lane, we are seeing 3-Pick Gamer getting real aggressive there. He's full health, full mana, chasing down Daddy, who's low on mana, but he might regret this because Prove Him Wrong was in the area. And now Epic Gamer caught in a really awkward position here. He's deep behind enemy lines. He's going for the alcove outplay, getting a ton of damage on Daddy, but the healing from Daddy won't be enough to keep him alive. The poison comes down. Yes, it will. It's going to be Prove Him Wrong picking up his 4th kill now of the game. And Rookter in the bot lane, literally sacrificing his life for Finny there. Finny holding on to the heal, didn't use it, and that will be a most misfortunate death in the bot lane. 4-2. Vengeful Reapers picking up their 2nd kill of the game.
And I mean, that was a nice repeat gank top lane, knowing that they burnt that Cassiopeia in that play towards the red side jungle. Just that repeat, like, that's gonna be make the difference for that top lane. And looks like they had maybe a botched dive in the bot lane.
Yeah, they got really aggressive there. Jay Delian imagines going after that low health Finny, but this time he does use the heal. Will still go down, but he picks up a double kill for himself in the bot lane, so at least making that trade worth it. And we do see Jason KB as well invading Rampage's jungle here, taking whatever he so pleases. Has already cleared out the goals there, and now he's going for, the Raptors, and now he's going for that red buff.
And that's really going to be what gets that Warwick kind of back in this game, because that Trundle, if he keeps getting those ganks and getting those kills and resources off of that, there's nothing that Warwick's going to really be able to do to stop him.
And we do see Jason going aggressively onto Baby Rope Bunny. She had no escapes available. Misses the Infinite Duress, but didn't need it at all. Just managed to claw him down. That's going to be a solo kill going over to Jason there. And with that, again, they've got a mana advantage. They're looking at that dragon. Should be coming out about 10 seconds here. Ocean Drake, Prove Him Wrong in the area. Going to shoot down on True Hero, but not going to be able to do anything on his own. Jason, KB, and J. Delwyn were waiting in the wings there. Top lane action all around the map. Deity going on to Epic. He gets a ton of burst damage. Will be able to pick this up easy in the solo kill there into the top lane.
And that's just low-key what that region is going to do for that Maokai, as well as just the unexpected burst damage he can do with his full combo. If he can land it, is absolutely devastating into someone who doesn't have much in the way of defensive stats or health in the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, and he manages to remain tanky. He also taking Demolish here, so we'll be able to get a good chunk of damage down on that top lane turret. It's only down to about 1.5 plates left, and on top of that, Rampage gonna go for that dragon. We'll be able to pick it up real easy here. Vengeful saw that they were there, but didn't have the members to stop them. Jason was towards the top side. Now they're going for that mid lane. They see the satchel charge going down. It does stop Finny, but will be enough. The pillar coming out. A flash will keep True Hero safe.
And that's a really good flash by True Hero. If he did not flash there, there's no way that they were getting out of that fight. But that also means that they're now vulnerable to Trundle, or anyone else really for that matter, coming up to that mid lane and punishing the fact that it's not there anymore.
Definitely, he will have to be careful, but we do see now Proven Wrong trying to take that Herald. He was spotted on the ward, did try and clear the ward, but unfortunately wasn't quite able to do it in time. And so now he has to be careful because Epic Gamer is in the area, does have the Petrifying Gaze available there. They're going to still keep trying to go on this. And now bot lane, Rookter getting caught out of position. The depth charge comes out, the anchor came out. And now he's trying to throw a Death Sentence out. Not sure if that's one he wants to take. Will be able to survive top lane. It's going to be an absolute mess over here as Proven Wrong does manage to take down the Herald there, but is having problems picking up the eye, and instead he's gonna go down, but it will be enough for now. Deity now able to keep going in. Will pick up a double kill for himself onto Epic Gamer and True Hero Flash coming up from Deity. He's got the Maokai out, slowly rolling up, but the operative word here is slow. But it will be able to pick off Jason as he rounds the corner, and that kill is going to go over to Baby Rope Bunny. A slow, creeping death there for Vengeful Reapers.
Oh, and that's going to have to hurt Sting just a little bit. Warwick almost being out of it, just misjudged the length of which that R was going to reach. Thought he was safe going over towards Krugs, but unfortunately just a little off and got caught as a regard to that.
Yeah, and that's going to cost them that top lane. They dropped Shelly in the top lane. Daddy probably didn't need it, but just wanted the reassurance there. Now, bot lane, Jdelian taking a ton of damage, but it might be Rookter going down. Nope, Finny manages to body block his support, keep him alive there. But Jdelian will have to base after that kerfuffle in the bot lane.
And it looks like, yeah, they've got the Nautilus backing right now, so they have the bit of a mana advantage, but as low as Thresh is, if he so much as steps up too far, as you kind of saw with that Peacemaker, he can get popped immediately by the Caitlyn with a headshot.
Yeah, especially considering that him and Finny seem to be having some synergy issues. That heal might not come in to save him in time, so definitely safer to go back to base here. Now 13 minutes, lots of action going down here. 10-5 the scoreline in favor of Rampage. Not unexpected at all. Rampage being an extremely strong laning team here. They might potentially be the actual worst matchup for Vengeful Reapers. Vengeful often choosing to play very comfortable champions for themselves. Now the Valkos laser comes up, a beautiful satchel charge will interrupt it almost immediately, keeping True Hero safe there.
That was just like you said. That's one of the most beautiful satchel charges I've seen so far this game. But just the interrupt on for that Vel'Koz, all it keeps him alive. Like, if they would have even held on to that for maybe another second or two, there was no way that Death Beam did not chew through that entire health bar.
Yeah, and he also did manage to bait out the flash from Baby Rope Bunny there by doing so. Now bot lane, we do see Jdelian getting aggressive on the engage, but Prove Him Wrong was waiting in the wings. This was potentially a bait. A good flash from Jdelian to get himself out of the bullet time as quickly as he can. The anchor toss coming down, but it will not land on Rookter. Now they're on the disengage as Jason KB has come out of the jungle there. And after all that potential, it looks like they're going to retreat, but no, a good death sentence from Rookter will get Jdelian potentially killed. No, he gets out. The CC is enough. They get Finny down. The damage was too much for them. And Jason KB going to be able to turn around and pick up the kill on Rookter as well. That's absolutely massive for Vengeful Reapers. Huge misstep from Rampage.
And that reactive just automatic Nautilus R is honestly what turned that fight there. If they just held on to that for another second, I think that honestly that could have ended a lot differently with at least being a 1-for-1, if not even 2-for-2.
And now Jason KB trying to get into the midst of the action, get a kill there, but not sure he wanted to walk in that bush. That's a Deity in the bush, and he's hard to kill. Will end up going down to said Deity, but Epic Gamer has arrived, picking up a kill. Actually, sorry, no, it was Jdelian getting killed on the side there. What on earth even happened there? No, it's True Hero getting caught by rotation, not Jdelian. My apologies. So lots of action going on, but that's 2 down on the side of Vengeful Reapers after they got to. Now it's going to be all of Rampage showing up here. Epic dodging beautifully a death sentence, but a flash from Finny. He's going to go on this, will pick up the kill. The rest of his team gets that turret into the bot. They make it 2-for-0 in the turret count, and they're going to rotate straight over to that Drake, the Wind Drake here for themselves. So there'll be ultimate cooldowns for the entire team.
And I think if you're Rawr, you're not even mad that this is a Cloud Drake because of the fact that it gives you that universal cooldown off of the ult on top of your cooldown that you innately have from any of your items. That can just become extremely terrifying, especially with your Vel'Koz ultimate and the Maokai holding them down with his ult.
Yeah, tons of utility from all the ultimates there and tons of damage. So every team likes it, especially them. And now they're looking into that mid lane there. True Hero going to try and hold this on his own, but a good flash to play in. The death sentence comes out. Will they follow up on this? Deity will, because Deity's attacked and he doesn't give a damn. The Valkyr's ultimate coming out as well will manage to melt down Jason KB, but because of that, Baby Rope Bunny ended up tanking that turret they didn't take and will go down to that turret as well. And then we did have J-Delian looking for a flank on the side, but ended up walking into Finny. That's a under-leveled support into a ADC. Will get melted down as well. 2 for 1, and they lose the mid lane turret. That's all the outer turrets cracked here for Vengeful Reapers.
And I mean, Rawr just has nothing else that they really could have loved except for maybe an ace. But I think what they got there was honestly 100% worth everything that they've used in that fight.
Definitely, and with that, Deity now 6-0-6 with a 600 gold bounty. That man is sick. Bot lane, there is a bounty also on Finny, but he's 4-3-0 right now, and he's actually down in CS. So Vengeful Reaper is not too far apart in that bot lane, only really about 200 gold. So most of that gold difference sitting strictly into that top lane. Deity is an absolute monster.
And I mean, honestly, in the way of Rawr, if it was going to be anyone else, you would want it on the Misfortune. But on the Maokai also is really good because that just makes him so tanky, so hard to kill on the side of VGR that I think, honestly, Maokai being fed is honestly going to be just what they really need right now.
Definitely, and we see the early Last Whisper coming out here onto Imagine. It's this second item he built after the Storm Razor that he knows that Deity's going to be a problem. And this is the answer to armor penetration early, but Deity already picked up the Sunfire Cape, so we'll have some resistances. Now Vengeful going for that second Herald. Don't want to give it over again here. We'll be able to zone out. There's a lot of zone control with Ziggs in the area. We'll push Prove Him Wrong down, and we'll be able to take that before there's any real contest. Teleport now coming out from Deity, and with the teleport home guards bonus, the tree can be real fast here, but it looks like the slow will stop them. J-Delian going to turn around and throw his life to protect the rest of the team, so they trade 1 for the Herald.
That was a beautiful pillar too by the Trundle there, making sure that the Nautilus could not get out of there alive.
Yeah, so looks will be worth there, and the Eye of the Herald will be picked up by Jason KB, the jungler for Vengeful Reapers here. So we'll be able to place it where he wants to. We do see yet another dive. Rukter and Deity going deep to zone off the carries here of Vengeful Reapers, and Deity's taking a lot of damage, but it's not showing in a health bar at all. The heals and just the sheer amount of health and resistances he has, able to ignore both True Hero and Imagines there. Will be able to take down the inner turret despite the fact they didn't get the Herald.
And I mean, all of that poke that they just did to him was pretty much mitigated by the fact of his passive. As soon as he hit that minion, just immediately almost back to full health.
And the man, like I said, just doesn't give a damn. He's walking in behind the turrets here, going on to Jason KB, who's not tanky at this stage of the game, getting absolutely shredded down by Prove Him Wrong. Will be able to get the fear off to keep himself alive, but now that's the entire team zoned off that turret there. Finny gonna eat the ace in the hole, taking a lot of damage. Deity and Prove Him Wrong choosing not to defend him there. But it's gonna be True Hero now looking to almost die. We'll have to be extremely careful. The Maokai ultimate coming right out again, and it will zone out the entirety of Vengeful Reapers. They're all stuck behind their inhibitor turret, and they'll lose a second inner turret off the same push this time, or not quite, sorry. They do manage to defend it just barely in the mid lane there. So Rampage will reset after taking that top lane inner turret.
And I mean, if you're Vengeful, the fact that you just stopped them from taking that tier 2 turret in the mid lane and traded actually and got the tier 1 in the bot lane is honestly like, that's kind of a feels good moment, because that means that you still have a little bit of pressure and you can hold off just a little bit better than what you may have thought beforehand.
Definitely Epic Gamer, the recipient of that bot lane push there, did manage to get himself back even in farm, but because of that, they did lose pressure on the rest of the map. Now Dragon spawning in about 20 seconds. Once again, Cloud Drake for the rest of the game here, so they will be looking to pick that up, and I'm sure both teams would love to have further cooldown reduction here.
And I mean, ideally what you want to see is you want to see Vengeful Reapers shove out that mid lane and drop the Herald, making Rawr choose between that mid lane turret and Dragon.
But right now, Vengeful gonna go instead for a kill attempt. They do manage to get Rookter, but the bullet time as Finny's back safe in the background. No, he's not, because the teleport coming out for Epic Gamer gets a beautiful Petrifying Gaze onto Baby Rope Bunny and Finny, and that will cost Finny his life. Now, Vengeful Reaper's going hard into this. Will pick up Prove Him Wrong as he's running away with an ace in the hole. That's gonna be a 3-for-0 because Deity was not present, and they're gonna keep on going here. Deity tanky, but not going to be tanky enough. And meanwhile, Jason KB doing exactly what you recommended. They dropped the Herald mid for the pressure, but they're not going to go for the Cloud Drake. No, they've set their eyes on a bigger prize. They're going to go straight for Baron here. Now, there is a scrying scuttle remain there. So on the side of Rawr Rampage, they will know that this is being taken. Finny has respawned. Baby Rope Bunny has respawned. Prove I'm wrong. Will be respawning shortly. And Baby Rope Bunny and Deity going to try and do what they can to disrupt this Baron take here. The poke coming down and doing tons of damage. Deity himself tanking as well. But they are getting the Baron low. It's down to 1,500. They're losing members. Jason's down. Jdellion's down. Can they get the team? No, they can't. Finny got with the steal there. And with the triple kill, we'll get everybody except for True Hero there. Now, True Hero, the last man standing, but he's low on health. He has no Baron buff. Could this be the game-ending push from Rampage?
I think honestly this is going to be at least an inhibitor. I don't think they can end the game. The death timers aren't long enough yet for them to be able to pull off just an entire game-ending push right here even with the Baron. However, I do think, like I said, they're going to get that inhibitor. And I mean, even if you're Rawr, you say thanks for the leash, guys, because they just got 4 kills and Baron off that, as well as you can see Trundle is down there taking Dragon while the entire team is pushing this inhibitor.
Yeah, and that's absolutely massive for them. Didn't even have to use the smite on Prove 'em Wrong to get that Baron steal there. That was Finny, and there looks like Vengeful Reaper's trying to mount a base defense. We'll end up losing Jdellon, but they'll at least get Finny in exchange, and now they've got Rampage on the run. A beautiful jump. That's a gold medal long jump from Jason KB there. Manages to get onto Baby Rope Bunny. We'll see her down, and Deity, the monster himself, finally goes down. His first death on the game. 7, 0, and 10 before this finally ends up going down, giving the bounty over to Jason KB, who's still not done yet. Now he's hunting Rookter. He's got the scent of blood in his nose, and now he's just going to hunt. Rookter won't be able to get out alive. Prove Him Wrong is running to try and back him as much as he can. Might be able to get there in time because Rookter's able to put down Disrupt after Disrupt. A flash from Rookter to try and keep himself alive. Won't keep him alive, but will buy Prove Him Wrong time to get there. Now Prove Him Wrong, the last remaining survivor from Rampage, who still has Baron buff here, but he has to be careful because Epic Gamer is going after him, and Epic Gamer has the damages. Will take him down. That's Baron gone from Rawr Rampage.
Yeah, that's Baron gone, unfortunately. I think that was just kind of a little bit of a greedy overextension trying to stay towards that mid lane, or actually in the base after they got that inhibitor. But it looks like Vengeful Reapers just kind of made the most of the situation. You know, gotta make some lemonade with those lemons life's given you, and just get so much worth value off of that.
Definitely, that was some hella expensive lemonade they just sold there. The gold lead is still about 5,000 and a bit here in favor of Rampage, but it was a lot worse moments ago. They do manage to pick up an ace onto Rampage, and with that they did pick up bounties as well, and hopefully that will be able to get them back into the game a little bit. Vengeful Reapers has been on the back foot most of this game. So Spenlow, if you are Vengeful Reapers, what do you do right now?
Well, right now, the only thing you can do is you have to turtle. Like, you feels bad, but you have to give up presence in the top lane and just in the jungle in general. Try to mount a base defense because you've got endless waves of minions pushing into your base.
And we do see a fight breaking out here, sorry, as well. And Finny going to get caught by Jdellon, who managed to sneak around the team, but he's alone. Will barely have the damage there to pop down Finny. We did see Jason KB getting picked off as well earlier in exchange for Rookter, and so far Vengeful coming out very even in this trade. All 3 damage dealers still alive, whereas on the side of Rawr Rampage, Baby Rope Bunny only DPS threat left, but she has the base very, very low on health.
You can't negate the fact and the power of the Maokai right now. Even though, yes, he is a primary tank, the fact that he's got so much % health damage on top of that Sunfire cape, he could kill almost any of the squishies right now. Any of that backline that Vengeful Reapers has can almost be killed just by the Maokai alone.
Yeah, he picked up a Leandri's Torment as well, Deity. He's going damage. He's tanky enough, knows that he can survive. He survived the last fight as well. 8 1 in 10. It took the combined might of a turret and an entire team to kill him last time. So he's had enough of just tankiness. He wants damage and he wants blood. Now, Jason KB getting caught up by Prove Him Wrong, and the speed on Prove Him Wrong there. He's down a level, but he's up some gold and definitely doing a ton of damage. Oh, sorry, he's not even up gold. The shutdown on the previous fight for Jason KB, keeping him in the gold lead there. But Prove Him Wrong, Trundle, 1v1, not afraid of anyone right now.
Yeah, and I think honestly, there's not a whole lot more that Vengeful Reapers can really do until Caitlyn really starts getting more items. She's not going to be able to pump as much damage as they really want, especially as tanky as Rawr is getting with the Maokai and the Trundle, especially Trundle stealing those.
But a beautiful flash petrifying gaze from Cassiopeia will see Finny go down. Daddy is going to throw out the Maokai out just to dissuade the rest of the team from following, but that's still a 1-for-0. Beautiful death sentence onto Jason KB, but they're not going to take that in. That's really dangerous. Instead, it's going to be Prove I'm Wrong getting caught out into the backline. Vengeful starting to make their return play here. Deity, however, still alive. Imagine's desperately trying to get there in time. They will finally get Deity, but at what cost? Baby Rope Bunny killing 3, apparently. Triple kill for Baby Rope Bunny. She will eventually go down, and now only Rookter left alive. So that's a 4-for-3 trade in favor for Vengeful Reapers.
And I mean, that was just really well done by Vengeful Reapers, knowing that damage that they can do and just trusting in the follow-up with their team. Got that 3-for-4 and just kind of swung that gold lead back towards them even more. I mean, now it's only at a 4K deficit. I think that's something that they can still come back from, but it's still going to be a clawing back situation.
Definitely, but at least they've managed to stop the bleeding for now. Their inhibitor in the mid lane has respawned as well, so they're no longer confined in their base. And that being said, the neutral objectives are coming out. Cloud Drake just spawned, and Baron will be coming up in the next 10 seconds here. Rawr set their eyes on that Cloud Drake. They want that Cloud Soul. Movement speed after using their ultimates will make Deity that much more dangerous. Trundle that much more dangerous. Vel'Koz probably won't be moving much after their after her ult, but still, nevertheless, having the ultimate cooldown 30% there will be absolutely massive for her as well.
Well, and I think if you're Vengeful Reapers, I mean, yeah, it would really stink to have this Dragon Soul go over to the way of Rawr. But I think, like, even if they get this soul, it's not really over for them, especially what they've shown in the last team fights. They have no Cloud Dragons, yet they're still able to manage their cooldowns on everything to be able to turn fights around to them.
And that being said, they do get caught out, though. Jadelian going to be the one here getting put by the death sentence, but will be able to remain alive just barely. Deity instead going to go down because the rest of his team was focused on Cloud Drake instead. Epic Gamer, one of the biggest damage threats, has gone down as well, and it's turning Rampage's way as Finny managed to take down Jason KB in the backline, being dove. True hero now, just trying to run away, but that strut not helping at all. Finny will be able to run him down. That's an ace for Rampage right now, and they have the open mid inhibitor. Their minions are a little far away. Baby Rope Bunny gonna go and help push the waves in, while Finny and Prove 'Em Wrong gonna start shoving that mid inhibitor.
Yeah, and I think that's about all she wrote for this game. I really think, like, if you are Vengeful Reapers, you take this as a learning experience. You decide, okay, what can we do differently next game? Because this is still a best of 5. They have potentially 4 more games in which they can mount a comeback. This series is not over in the least bit yet.
Definitely a 6.5k gold deficit, really hard to surmount here, but we do see Rampage gonna base here. They knew the death timers of Vengeful Reapers were low. Decided to just take that inhibitor and back out here. Baron's still an option on the table, but Baby Rope Bunny a little low, probably wants to base before and do this. And Finny opted to go down into that bot lane to push out that wave, so will not have the Baron pressure yet. And we do see Rookter getting caught out. He was just trying to ward, but it might cost him his life. Baby Rope Bunny and Prove 'Em Wrong both just base, so Deity going to be the one who has to try and bail him out of here. But Epic Gamer getting a good flank with the blast cone there will not quite reach in time, and instead it's going to be Vengeful Reapers potentially starting up this Baron. I'm not sure they want to do this. Finny has arrived. The bullet time is available, and they will be able to force Vengeful Reapers off the Baron quite easily there.
I was going to say, if they really commit to this right now, this looks suspiciously like something we saw earlier in the game, which is a little unfortunate. They have the damage to just burn the Baron, but I don't think they're in such a commanding position where they can just burn it and then get out.
No, and instead they've been forced off the Baron here. Now the Baron getting taken down. They do have the vision, but they don't have sustained vision in the pit, so they'll have to take this blind. We do see him coming in. Jason KB with the epic Baron steal. Beautiful Ziggs out as well to follow up the damage. Jason KB will pay for his life with that, but the rest of the team gets the Baron buff, and they do manage to pick up Baby Rope Bunny on the backline. So they trade Epic Gamer for Baby Rope Bunny. Now it's a 4v3 with Baron buff. Rawr is not happy. They're going to push in with a vengeance into the mid lane. They have the super minions. They have the man advantage. They have the Ocean Drake and slowly healing them up. And so now, onside of Vengeful Reapers, they're going to have to try and defend this these Nexus turrets here with the Baron. Bullet time coming across to clear the minions will not do much. But Jdelian going to be the one caught out with a twisted advance. First Nexus turret goes down. Second Nexus turret going down as well. Now they're looking at his backline. Deity going into the fountain itself, gets the Maokai ultimate off to buy his team time to take down the Nexus here. But can they do it? Prove him wrong is chomping down. Imagines takes down Rookter, so Rookter won't be adding damage. And they successfully defend against the push. What on earth is going on right now?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Rawr got a little greedy and decided they were gonna just try to pick off a spawn. But because they decided to make that call, they just get punished on. And I mean, if you are Vengeful Reapers, that's something you want to see happen right now. They've got Baron minions, so they have an incredible base defense right now with just their champions and minions alone.
And that was absolutely huge for them. Helped to reduce the gold gap a bit. They got the Baron. They still have Baron on True Hero and Imagines here for themselves. Will be able to push out. And on the side of Rampage, that was a huge loss for them. You've got to question them now because they won that fight really handily without Baron. They pushed into the base without Baron. Did they really need to go for that Baron?
I don't honestly. I think that they needed to go for the Baron just to get them in a choke position, because I don't think in any way they really end the game without really having that choke hold in the jungle. Because of that Vel'Koz R, if they do it inside of a base or an open area, they have more room to run around and get out of that ultimate in. But because of the Maokai R and the Vel'Koz R in the jungle, that constricts them into certain points. And because of that, they can't actually escape as well as they normally would in a lane.
And now we do see Epic Gamer getting caught out. Double collapse from Rookter and prove him wrong, but we'll be able to at least force the flash out of Baby Rope Bunny. And Baby Rope Bunny ends up going down in the back, and the poison is strong with this one. So it's going to be a 4v4. We see Jason KB and Jdelian waiting in the wings here, potentially looking to get a flag, but they end up really far behind as Rampage just pushing right in. Oh, a headshot takes Finny to half health. They have to be absolutely careful, but it's an open Nexus right now. Rampage just going to push in and take the Nexus because Jdelian and Jason KB were too far away.
That was honestly probably one of the most big brain ults actually from Maokai, because that looks like that may have been an accidental cast behind, but he was actually doing that to stop that Warwick and Nautilus from collapsing from behind them. Because of that, they couldn't actually get to even a pool with the Nautilus hook and R with the Warwick in order to stop them from taking that Nexus.
And honestly, that was a hell of a lot more back and forth game than I expected there. Rampage, I thought, would be the counter to Vengeful Reapers, both of them playing a very lane-centric, lane-dominant style, but Rampage is second place for a reason. But Vengeful just firing back at their late-game team fights were absolutely amazing, but good on Rawr to know when to pull that trigger, going straight for that open Nexus. We'll finish the game here, 37 and 30 in 34 minutes and 17 seconds.
I mean, that's over almost 2 kills a minute, and honestly I think that's something you really wish for in these type of games. I mean, you kind of want to either see action or you want to see meticulous gameplay. I personally like to see the action just because it makes it more of a what's the right way to put it, an engaging experience.
Definitely engaging the word here as both teams got lots of engages. Tidy, an absolute monster. Jdelian getting some really good hooks. And let's not forget that amazing long jump from Jason to take down, I believe it was Baby Rope Bunny or Finny there in the earlier fight. And with such hype in Game 1, I am looking so much forward to this best of 5 series. We're now going to take a quick break here while both teams set up for Game 2. And I'm hoping this one goes the distance all the way to Game 5. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.